ADHD Babes, the podcast, a podcast hosted by the ADHD Babes community for the community. Join us every 2 weeks to share in our babes' personal experiences, gain useful tools, and be educated by special guests in topics such as ADHD management, relationships, general well-being, tech and fun, culture, and more. Please note, nothing mentioned during the podcast is meant as a diagnosis. If you believe you have ADHD, please seek professional advice and visit or join ADHDBabes.com for help with diagnosis. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. And now, you're listening to the next episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. Hello, and thanks for joining us today on ADHD Babes, the podcast. Today's episode is hosted by me, Shauna, and
me, Renee, and today we have a very special episode for you all. To understand who ADHD Babes are, we're joined by directors Vivienne, Isebor, and she's the founder and director of the community outreach, and we also have Kesi, Randon, the creative director. Hi, ladies.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to jump right in, and we want to know who are ADHD Babes. So let the audience know who are ADHD Babes and what made you guys kind of get involved and get this thing started and go and keep it going.
So ADHD Babes is a support group for Black women and Black non-binary people who identify with ADHD. So yeah, no clinical diagnosis is needed. The reason we started originally, well, I got diagnosed quite late. I think it was 20, I can't remember, but I was in my 20s. And the person I was with at the time, they were super supportive, like trying to find like support groups and all these online resources. And whenever we would go, it was just very, how do I say, very singular in the demographic. So,
you know, kindly. Mm-hmm.
yeah, to be politically correct in that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just wasn't really feeling heard or seen or understood. So I remember being a bit kind of anti, like, oh, I don't want to go, but they felt like that was me not trying to understand and engage in what ADHD was. But then I was trying to explain that actually it's just because I don't feel like I fit in or I'm understanding. So they were like, why don't you just make your own? I was like, oh, yeah, good idea. So jumped on Facebook and literally were just putting in any chat to do with ADHD. Hey, is anybody here Black from the UK who wants to make a group for Black women? Did that in a bunch of chat rooms and then eventually created a Facebook page. And that picked up quite slowly, but it was really nice to just speak to other people who were similar.
And what year was this?
This was 2018. Yeah.
So quite recent.
Yeah. And then from there, like it picked up again, like me and two other people from the Facebook group moved on to WhatsApp. So we started picking up from there. And then one person will say, oh, my friend just got diagnosed. Can they come? Oh, I think my friend has it. Can they come? And then it literally just grew quite gradually from there. And then lockdown came. And one of the co-founders suggested that we start Zoom calls. And then we started doing that. We made a Twitter, Instagram, and literally, again, it just started to roll. Like someone would tweet about it or someone would tell their friend, and it just slowly picked up over time. And then Kesi magically came into my life. And yeah. Yeah, so magic ever since.
Yeah, one of my friends, I got diagnosed when I was 26, and I didn't know anyone with ADHD. It was introduced to me really for like the first time by a psychiatrist, because I'd always assumed that it was just like young white boys that had it. So it wasn't really on my radar, but the second they said it to me and I started researching, I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like exactly what I'm going through. So, but yeah, I didn't know anyone with ADHD, and any like support things I did find just didn't really resonate with me. I didn't feel like I belonged. so that, and then about like a year later, a friend saw on Twitter this support group, ADHD Babes. And it took like 3 attempts because then like the waiting list was so long. It was so hard, but then like finally I got a space on it. And like I remember how I felt after the session. Just like really validated and held, and like for the first time in a long time I felt like okay, like this is something I can work with. This isn't something that's going to hold me down. Actually, like I've just shared a space with 30 amazing people. So like, this is going to be okay. And I messaged. I don't know if I messaged you, Vivienne, like directly, or messaged ADHD Babes, but to ask like if I could volunteer and help. And yeah, then I've been doing that ever since.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
It does. I do feel like the Instagram is your friend, because that's how you found it.
Yeah, exactly. And it changed my life for sure.
Definitely life changing. I'm always reaching out to you, Vivienne, and saying, this is so amazing. I can't believe
smile. Literally every time you message, I'm like, working kids.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So happy. So happy. The community. Yeah.
Do you feel that the community's like, because the community's grown, that's allowed you to kind of expand what ADHD Babes is and what ADHD Babes offers to the community? Because, you know, obviously you're all volunteers, so you're doing it in your spare time, and we all have ADHD, so that's not going to be easy as it is.
If we start now, we won't finish. But no, legit, like what I mean, because it was really tough when we first started. It was me and the 2 co-founders, and like you said, you know, we're all volunteering our time and also trying to balance life. So unfortunately, they had to step down, and there was a period where I was juggling everything on my own. And honestly, I was so close to just packing it all in. And Opus, who leads the support group, and Kesi literally came in at similar times with another volunteer as well. If they didn't come at that time, oh God, I don't know. So I think the consistent support from community, like people always come into sessions, because like the sessions don't exist unless people come, and also they're not warm and supportive if people don't come with that. And I think that's what always like keeps me going and is so inspirational. People show up, and as they show up, they're just so loving, so warm. They're all seeking community, and they create it with how much they hold the space for everybody. So yeah, because when we first started, we had so many ideas, and like we managed to tackle quite a few, but they would have just stayed ideas. It's like the constant support from everybody that actually makes it an actual tangible thing. Yeah.
So then I guess I have a question. Obviously, you both mentioned finding out you had the diagnosis, and then what was it like the first time you were like, oh, is this the reason why I'm the way I am? Like, what was that experience when you just had a label for your life? It's still an ongoing journey though.
I remember at first feeling like kind of like a bit relieved, because I'd been struggling for so long. And all of it, like it kind of all made sense. I definitely had that initial like, oh, okay, but like very soon after, like I had a lot of like grief for like the, like I guess the childhood that I didn't have, or the life that I didn't have, because I didn't have the support I needed, and that I'd held all of these like beliefs about myself, that like just came down to ADHD, and these things that I thought were like personality flaws were actually this condition that like no one had spotted or like helped me with. So that was hard. That was a hard thing to move past and like kind of like reframe how I think about it. That took a while. I mean, it's still ongoing, you know, like these things, it's like a squiggly line, rather than like a straight one, but I'm grateful for it, you know. But,
no, I agree. I think it's not linear, and sometimes it's like you think you've made lots of progress and then something happens, you're like, oh, here I am again. Oh, this seems familiar. But yeah, I think in general, I can't remember, someone said it in the support group, like the analogy of like it's a spiral that's going upwards. So like once you get the diagnosis, sometimes it does feel like, oh, I've been at this same spot before, but actually you're at that same spot, but it's getting easier, and you're getting, you know, you're realizing faster, you're figuring out your triggers faster. So I think for me, probably the biggest kind of like, oh, my life can be different, is in terms of like how I manage my emotions, because that was always like that was my biggest problem, probably, like managing my temper, or like just managing the emotional shifts. And once I became aware that that's linked to ADHD, I stopped like internalizing that there's just something wrong with me, or I've got anger issues, because that was always like labeled on me from young. And then being able to like communicate that, oh, listen, if you do X, you're going to provoke me to do Y, so please don't do that. Or just being able to remove myself from spaces where people will continue to provoke me in that way, because I just don't want to be that person. So yeah, just like taking accountability for it in a way that's not damning myself. Yeah, and trying to accommodate like what I actually need to be that person. I think that was huge for me. But yeah, similar to Kesi, like it's not a finished journey, but it just feels like you're not just drowning in a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense, doesn't feel great. Like at least now you've got a bit of a lifeboat, so you're still in the waves, but you're like, I know why I'm in the waves right now, and I know they're going to stop eventually.
Love the analogies.
Just
me, I'm learning to swim. I'm learning to swim. If the boat is not working, I'm going to swim.
Yes.
Just writing these down, be like, remember this analogy.
I think like getting because I never particularly struggled in school. Like my problems came when I like tried to go into work straight after uni, and like I had to kind of like manage myself and like manage my own deadlines and like get somewhere on time. I don't know, all of a sudden like it all became like, that's when like the crisis happened and I got the diagnosis. But I think having it meant that it's made it a lot easier for me to communicate what I need to people, like not just like in work, but like with family and stuff, like what you said, with like knowing what is going to trigger like my emotions, or like when I'm not able to take in information, or when I'm like particularly like feeling a bit too chaotic. So like warning people, do you know what, I might be late right now. And I don't know, it's like helped knowing it and having something there to be like, I'm not just making excuses, this is an actual thing. That's been really helpful too. It's just easier. I feel like we shouldn't have to do that, but in the world we live in, we do.
And
Don't get me started.
I feel like with our lives as well, we deal with so many intersectionalities. Like we're Black, we're women, and we also have like how many more can you add on to our list? Like I know we're meant to be strong,
mental health, chucking mental
Yeah.
health as well. Chucking that we're, you know, first generation, chucking like where you grew up, how much money your family make. Oh God,
exactly.
A lot. It's a lot.
More than a lot, I think.
And we're still here.
Thriving.
Surprise.
I think as well, like our backgrounds, like you said, first generation. I'm actually second generation, so I'm unique.
I think I'm second generation too.
Were your parents born here?
Yes.
Then yeah, you'd be second generation. My grandparents were the ones who immigrated.
Yeah, my grandparents too.
So I got my parents got all of the racism, and I just got minute bits of it. So thank you, parents. But that doesn't mean just because I'm second generation that there's not those cultural traditions, there's the expectations of what a Black woman should do. Like it really annoys me, like that you literally have the guys like sitting on the sofa, but you expect me to come help you cook. Like what? What is this? So it's kind of like that always. Like I always got really annoyed, like that difference in equality between the genders that is kind of like, even this extra thing is just like weighing me down. But it's so good that we can build a community of people who are in the same boat, and you can say it, you can understand it. One of the things that I love about the support group is you say anything and everyone's like,
yeah. It's like fingers clicking. Yes, girl. Speak on it, sis. Yes.
And it's funny when the camera, like, everyone's muted, but it's the heads.
Yeah. And then the chat keeps popping off.
Yes. Oh gosh. It's really hard. I think the whole like, oh, go on.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say, like, the whole gender role thing is, it's interesting because it's like you said, it's thrust upon us, and it's always difficult when I think of like my ADHD. I find it hard to initiate like starting to, like, cooking any meal. If I'm with someone and it's like a social thing, then it feels more like, oh, okay, yeah, we're doing this thing together. But if you ask me on a random day, stand up and go, why? I mean, so even that balance of like the cultural pressures as a woman, for me growing up, and I'm of Nigerian descent, like it just heavy. Like,
it's very heavy. My auntie recently, I disclosed my diagnosis, and I said, "What is ADHD? What is that?" I'm like, okay, explaining it, breaking it down. You don't have it. You're healed in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Whether it's ADHD, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, V, and I'm like, okay, I can laugh at this, but guys, this is real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that cultural aspect is a big part, you know.
100.
Infuse religion into that as well. It's just, it's a whole thing.
It's also like the fact that like Black people in general just don't talk about mental health. So the fact that you've got so many members here, we're all of Black descent or in some way, shape or form, you know what I mean? And we're all talking about it.
Yeah.
Changing the narrative.
I was gonna say as well, like that's just talking about family, like when you start realizing how many members of your family probably have ADHD.
That one.
And you're watching them like, okay.
I see it.
Would you like to be like this question happening?
How often do you forget things? I can see clearly now.
Oh my god.
You know what? I actually do.
It's
think
the pottering.
It's deep. It's like when I was younger, my gran used to like lay on her bed. I lived with my grandmother, and she used to lay on her bed and her foot would shake. And I'd be like, Gma, I call her Gma. What are you like? Why'd you do that? And she's like, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Now I do it. And I'm like, thank you, woman.
It's the matriarchal.
Yeah. I've given everyone their diagnosis. They don't know. They just don't know. Like,
it's
you got it. You get ADHD. You get ADHD.
No, but I think even like with like I think as well, I don't know, at least like especially with like a later diagnosis, you gravitate towards people that kind of accept you, don't you? So like, I noticed then started noticing like your friends, like maybe this is why we're friends, because we're just as chaotic as each other, seeing it everywhere. And it's a bit like, am I just giving everyone ADHD, or did I just surround myself with people who are also neurodivergent?
No, I sent my friends, one of my friends, I sent her like is it a questionnaire?
Yeah. Tour.
Yeah. And I was like, come on, join the club. She's like, no, I really don't have it. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
You're missing out, sis.
Yeah, but it's a spectrum though. Sorry, go, Kesi.
No, I was just saying, I've had a few friends go to get the diagnosis and like get on the waiting list and stuff.
Is that because you told them about it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because at first I was a bit I don't like, obviously there's a lot of shame attached to it, but when I got more open about it and obviously started doing like ADHD babes and stuff, I would tell anyone. And then being so open about it and just being like, oh, that's my ADHD, then they're like, well, I do that a lot. Or you know, sometimes when you're talking about it sounds like this, and I'm like, well, why don't you just, you know, that psychology thingy testing, you have a look at that, see what you think. And then
tally up your points.
I've had a few of them like on the waiting list now, but the waiting list is like 2 years long, aren't they?
Yeah, it's awful.
It's also, I'm guessing, got a lot worse after.
Oh, it did.
I mean, I'm a pandemic diagnosis, so I, hands down.
But you made it.
Well, I went private because
Oh,
my
right.
ADHD means
He's
that if
left
you're
it.
not doing it right now, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So it's kind of like, if I like you telling me you're gonna like wait 2 years to do something, I'm not even gonna be bothered by then. And I need help now. Like I can't be waiting. Like I'm trying to get my life sorted right now. Like I don't need to be telling me no, you need to do it. Hello, do you not know what this thing is?
Yeah, the lack of resources is insane. Like even me, I've already been diagnosed. I got discharged for missing appointments. Haha. But
the whole process is so not ADHD friendly as a joke.
The logic.
It's just very back to front.
I remember they sent you this letter and they were like, please try not to miss your appointments. We understand, like, because you have ADHD, you might, but please don't. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just turn it off just for you. Like
their logic is 2 out of 10. It's 2 out of 10. I didn't even get a we understand. I was just told if you miss 2 more appointments, then you're out.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they kept forgetting to send me prescriptions. It was like, this is so hilarious.
Did they need a diagnosis?
You're supposed to be the neurotypical one, bro. Yeah, no, man. I've been on the waiting list for like 2 years and I've already been diagnosed, and this is just to get a review. So I can't even imagine for people that are like trying to go through the process from the beginning.
So you said 2018. So how long did you go through the NHS? How long was the waiting list then?
To be fair, I did it in 2017 and it wasn't that long. I don't remember feeling like, oh my God, it wasn't long. Like, so I don't know.
6 months.
Yeah,
I
think mine was about that.
I was already under the mental health services though, so I reckon that might have been why it's quicker. But then whenever I have asked for a review, I've only waited a month.
Wow, that's good.
So I don't, but then like literally anyone else I've spoken to hasn't had a story like that, so I think I was lucky.
It's the ghetto. It's really, really I have a lot to say on this topic, honestly.
Say it.
No, I'm gonna speak my speech. No, honestly, the other day I was speaking to a doctor and I was like, no, seriously, this is wild. Like, why is there such a long waiting list? We're suffering, we're going through so much. Like, it's just, this I don't have the words. It's just not acceptable.
The impact.
Saying, that obviously, as you mentioned, Kesi, that it just was deemed as being this condition for children, and it's only relatively recently. So there just aren't enough specialists. There aren't enough people who have studied. And I really want to see a shift, because I just think that it impacts our life in so many ways. For it to be deemed as being, not as complex as other mental health conditions, or just, it's very scary, because as said, like, it's make or break for a lot of people. I think for me, I was at that point, and I just realized I've got to be dramatic, bring out the GCSE drama. I was stalking my GP. Listen, everyone knows my name
every day.
yeah, it's me again.
It's me again. Really.
It's me again. Tell a friend to
tell everybody.
Until they turn around and tell you you can't have ADHD because you just called us every day.
Hyperfocus, baby.
Isn't it?
Oh my God.
I have my theories on why the NHS is so backlogged, and I'm not going to share them because I'd have to cut it out of the podcast. But I have feelings. But in general, I pull it down to aging population.
And I've heard this.
The two groups don't need the same things, and so you're stretched thin. And that's all I'll say, because sometimes people might think I'm ageist. I'm not. I love old people. Old people love me. But it's just the way it is. But I do think that's exactly why I love the fact that ADHD Babes will allow people to come who have not been diagnosed yet. It does not matter. Even if you end up getting a different diagnosis, people can be here. And I think it's so, with waiting lists like that, not everyone can afford to go private or find places like I did where they'll let me pay on a payment plan or like that, or even that might be too much money for you. So
and the process is quite invasive. From like the questions they ask you to like relive childhood, and like that was quite difficult, like to talk about like what things were like in school, or like whether you got trouble at home, or like things that you kind of used to get labeled with, and just like have to relive it in like a really clinical setting, because they're not the most empathetic characters either.
No.
So like that, even it's also like I think sometimes like there should be a question of like, if you like believe, if you think that you have ADHD and you identify with it, like really ask about like the benefits of going through that whole process, because it's good for like with work accommodations and things like that. But if you feel like you can manage without those things, again, it's like a thing of like, you should be able to communicate your needs regardless of any diagnosis. Like, if you feel like you can, like, really ask if you want to like go through it, because it is stressful. It's a lot of chasing. That's so energy taxing, especially if you have ADHD. Like, I had to chase my prescriptions every single month. They never sent them to me on time. I had to deal with psychiatrist told me I'd just like been made redundant. Psychiatrist told me, oh yeah, it makes sense they'd make you redundant because you've got ADHD.
Wow.
That's what I was dealing with. So it's like, I'm really glad I did it, and you know, it really helps now getting reasonable adjustments. But actually what I realized is a lot of the adjustments that I had, I probably could have asked for without having to have gone through that process, you know, because that knocked me back a bit. Just having one very like emotionally vacant psychiatrist.
They are literally, I'm like, are you a human? Hello, is somebody there? It's so scary to me. How are you supposed to be helping? And you're just looking at me like robot, like it's quite concerning.
So wild. I don't understand it.
I think it's more weird when you're like, they're talking to you, and you must have spoken to loads of people who have gone through this process, and they'll say something and they'll be like, and give you like this wow kind of look, and I'm like, seriously, I'm not even that bad, like, but you're still giving me judgment, but I'm just gonna ignore it.
And they're not supposed to judge.
They
That's the
shouldn't
whole
be
point.
giving you judgment. Like,
like your whole approach.
Like they shouldn't. You're meant to go there and be really honest about how this thing's impacting your life. So like for me, I was like, I was off the rails, like trying to manage everything. And I go there to the space that was meant to be like meant to help me, and I tell her, well, this is what I've been doing, this is how I've been operating my life, because trying to seek out dopamine, trying to do whatever I can to make things work. And they just sit there and judge you, and it's like, well, I won't tell you this stuff then, and then you won't know, and then like it's annoying.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cycle, isn't it? And I mean, it poses a whole wider question about the whole healthcare system, the whole like misunderstanding of neurodiversity. Then you add on like the fact that we're Black women, or like we're Black non-binary people, like the whole treatment of us within the spaces is always going to be like on the fringe anyway. But the whole of ADHD is already misunderstood. It's already like the services don't have that much money, they don't have that much resources. But I always find it strange, anything that's people facing, and I meet people and they're not people. Yeah, I'm just like, well, why did you come here? You could have been anything in the world, but you chose to come here.
When you're dealing with like really vulnerable people, I just can't. I get like you have to have. I can understand like it must be difficult constantly, day in day out, meeting people who are like in really vulnerable situations. So you have to have some level of like disconnect, but like to be that disconnected, like to actually ruin someone's day because you couldn't be bothered to just give them some
empathy,
of energy,
some eye contact, babe. No, there's one doctor, I swear to God, oh Lord, let me not even name and shame, but no.
Tell you what, on that note,
let's just talk about community. Why is community so important, and how has it impacted both of your personal journeys with ADHD and just overall well-being? We should do that in parts. First part, letter one. The community. Why is community important?
I guess it's like the sense of belonging, isn't it? Not feeling alone. I think that particularly through the lockdown, we were all quite isolated. I was very isolated, and I don't know, having somewhere where I didn't need to perform or mask, I could just shut up as myself, was like on like a very basic level, just like a relief. Like it was like, oh, I can socialize and not get tired. But then on like the other side of that, it was just quite like validating. Like gives you the confidence to then go outside of that community and also be yourself, you know. So it's like, okay, if these people can love me and accept me as I am, then everyone else should be able to, and that's it, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, yeah, first and foremost, it was about like not feeling alone. And because I didn't understand ADHD, and to be honest, you read some of the stuff online and it just sounds so like harsh and cold, and like there's all these negative statistics about, you know, we've got high rates in terms of incarceration, low rates in terms of like maintaining marriages and things like that. Like it just felt like a very negative experience.
Doesn't it also sound like exactly how they would describe Black people?
That part. I don't trust the medicals. Like the thing is, it's very textbook, and that's leading back to what we were saying before. It's like they're telling us about our lives and experience, but they're so disconnected from it. So yeah, that's why a community really is important, because then you're like, oh, I just feel so seen.
It's not just like random stats and numbers. It's actually, and that's why the support group was so, because obviously it was, I think every aspect has different elements for it. Like the WhatsApp chat is great because it might just be a random comment and then loads of people relate, but yeah, the support group, I've got like a special space for it, because like being able to see a sea of people that look like you, be able to like know that you're expressing yourself and being understood, you don't have to over explain, and also just learning that some things that I thought was just personal is not, because not everything that's listed in what ADHD is actually what we experience. They list very generic parts, and I've really got to learn about who I am as a person, and also that it's very different. There's some things that people say or I say and I don't relate, and that's also okay, just being able to see the whole spectrum. But like Kesi was saying, know that as I show up here, I'm actually being accepted as I am and I'm not being misjudged, and there's something really special about that. I think it does allow you to go forward into spaces that aren't so safe, but remember that it's not a problem with you, it's a lack of accommodation from them. And
also like within a community, like within any community, you would have like, I guess, like the, like, you think of it as age, let's say, like you'd have like the newborns and then you'd have the elders kind of thing, and then the people in the middle. And I feel like sometimes I'll go to a workshop or a session and you'll meet people who are very fresh to like their ADHD, and so they're kind of there, like they're wanting to learn and they're wanting support, but then you'll get people that are like have known they have ADHD and they've learned to like manage it, and they've got loads of tricks up their sleeve and things like that. And it's just like being a part of that and being able to like a family, just experience it all, you know, like get the support and give support, and everyone plays a role in it, and it comes so naturally because we've all been through this struggle, you know. So it's like we've all been there. We've all been that person that doesn't know much about it, and equally like we all want to become the person that like has the ADHD down, you know.
And the age range represents that as well.
It's nice, lovely.
And I feel like
in their 50s.
And I feel like it's not necessarily like no one thinks about, you know, whether or not someone is in their 50s versus someone in their 20s.
No,
because somebody in their 50s literally just got diagnosed, and the person in their 20s been known about it for years.
It's like an ADHD elder, like not with age, like you know it. You know what you're doing, like you know how you're managing it, and like, even just like with that, even if their coping mechanisms aren't necessarily ones that work for you, just knowing that someone that has ADHD has gotten to that stage where they feel like, I've got this, like I know what I'm doing, like it's nice to see, because we don't have like there aren't really any other spaces where you could just go and do that, you know?
Yeah, in fact they tell you the opposite. Like the amount of ableism I hear where it's like, oh you went to uni so you can't have ADHD. The assumption is if you do well you don't have it. So being able to see people that have like managed and succeeded and thrived, it's like, oh, I can do that too. Like, or even if I want to, there's also people that just want to live a normal simple life, and that's also something to aspire to. But being able to see the spectrum is like, I can place myself on it.
And it's like, it defies, like, we live like in like a society right now that is very survival mode, very like everyone kind of needs to be out for themselves in a way, you know, because with the way everything's going on right now, it's hard to get yourself out of that like fight or flight. So I think it's important to have community spaces where you're all kind of healing together, you know, like where it's known that that's what we're all doing together, and it's like really going against like this capitalist like
individualized,
you know, like I think that's why I think like these community groups are so important, why ADHD Babes are important, because it's just like a way to escape that, and it works without following their systems, and I mean, it's active for everyone, doesn't matter what your background is, you know, like your financial background.
I feel like ADHD Babes has made me notice how often I apologize for my symptoms, and has made me more aware of that, so I stopped doing that. Because we will literally just be like, why are you sorry? Stop saying sorry. Stop saying sorry. Stop saying sorry. And it's so supportive. It's like no one else would be like that. They would expect you to say sorry. So because how dare you?
How dare you exist? And
anyway,
it's the same with crying as well. Like sometimes when people cry, they're like, sorry. It's like, nope. That's for tears here. You let it out. You let it out, babe.
It's such a safe community, and I think, at least for me, even when we were talking about disclosing to friends and family, educating, once you get the confidence to share, it's still a challenge. So to be able to come to a space where it's just like, as you said earlier, like mask off, I don't need to be doing all of that. There's nothing like that. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for that. And I guess, I can't even imagine, like, what do you think it would be like if you had the diagnosis and you hadn't started this community, and it was just, on paper, and all these other spaces that you didn't feel like you could relate to anyone? Can you imagine what that journey with ADHD would be like if you hadn't started this and you hadn't joined the community?
Bring out those creative juices.
Literally, as you were saying it, like I was feeling my heart sink. Like,
that made me so sad.
Seriously.
I don't know. I don't know. I remember when I first like started doing little
admin,
bits of volunteering and admin. Like every time we were like, thank you so much for thank you so much. Because I literally don't like. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Trust me.
I can't
imagine without it, right?
No, I can't, because I don't. It's something different. Like it's not like, it's nice to see like videos and reels and stuff like that from like Black people with ADHD. That's good and it's relatable, but like it's like, this is like a space, you know, like this is a place where like it's like, I don't know.
And I like that it's all day. It's all day. All day.
It's don't stop.
Mate, I'm on the Discord. Sometimes I'm like procrastinating at work and I'm like, let me just see what people are adding on there. Okay, that's a good 5 minutes, and then I'll go back.
Little double tap. A little laughy.
Little heart. Get the introduction.
Honestly, I think when I think about it, my confidence in myself as a person has increased drastically. Not in an outward way, more in just like in terms of acceptance of myself. And I'm on a journey of like recovering my self-esteem and like working through that. And I think without it, I definitely would not be as like inwardly at peace with who I am. And I'm not like 100% there, but that thing of like having grace and having like self-compassion when I like forget things, or you know, I completely miss an appointment or whatever, like, or even I lose my temper, or I'm just really upset in the morning and then really, really happy in the evening. Like all of those different parts of it, I feel like because I've been in spaces where that's validated and I'm seeing other people say the same thing because there's actually a courage to be able to just say out loud, because like a lot of the time the strangers, like especially when people are new, even though we all look the same, like you're still coming and saying like your truth to a bunch of strangers. So people's courage in sharing has really allowed me to like embrace who I am. And even in terms of drawing boundaries, it means that I'm actually more comfortable to be like, I know this is not conventional. I know that, you know, a neurotypical person wouldn't need you to you know, I don't know, like, don't ignore my message or let me know you're going to ignore it because it's gonna really upset me. I know no neurotypical person wouldn't need that, but this is who I am, and all the other good parts of me. If you're happy to take that, then I'd really need you to take this part as well. So yeah, I don't think I would be as confident in accepting that if I didn't have this experience with ADHD Babes.
Viv, babe, you are amazing. Know that.
Oh.
Like, come on. I mean,
love you, girl.
everybody in the episode is, but I don't,
Yeah.
it hurts my heart because, like, seriously, without this group, I do not know. Like, I've met such great people already, and I've only really joined since 6 months, and like here we are. Do you know what I mean? So we're all behind you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn my camera off.
Sorry.
And it took courage for you as well, because I think that like you could have just been struggling and being like, well, there's no opportunity, I can't relate to them, and just, you know, struggle. But to actually be like, no, I'm gonna look for people like me, like I'm gonna do this, like, thank you.
You've made it a little bit easier for everyone else who's like just starting their journey and looking for groups. And what I think is the best thing about ADHD Babes, which some of our international community won't agree with, but where's all the UK groups? It literally just everyone's in America, and I do feel a little bit like, you know, when we were younger, we would listen to American music because British music wasn't there, and obviously, you know, like when grime and two-step and stuff like that started to be a thing, then we started having our own like UK, and I don't use the word urban, but like black scene, because I don't understand how you jump everything in one category. But but that was the same as well. Like all of the people who have been investing the time into looking at what the differences in people of color, women, non-binary people are in America, and it's like really annoying because it's like I want to join, but it's always so late. Like, why do you do it in the afternoon? I'm not up at 11 p.m. I should be in bed. Well, I am up, but I shouldn't be.
Don't enable me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really nice to kind of have somewhere where we can speak and have groups and stuff like that. I know that obviously some of the babes who are in other countries, I know we've got members who are in the US, in Canada, we've got people who are all over Europe.
The Caribbean.
Yeah,
quite a few from Holland.
Yeah.
A lot, actually. a lot.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. Like,
it definitely shows that there's just not enough out there, and like it now they do have somewhere to kind of search, and literally that's how I found you. I was just like, where are all the black people at?
That's mad.
No, I can't even remember how I found. I don't know, maybe Twitter or something. Maybe.
I think mine was Instagram.
Okay. Yeah. I pick up Instagram.
Yeah. Who's in charge of Instagram? Is that you? I have a question though. What is your favorite part? Like, so it could like, is it like one of the groups that you host, or one of the things that maybe happen infrequently, or it might be just an element? Like, what's your favorite thing about ADHD Babes? Because I know you guys run different sessions. Well, I mean, I don't really know what actual session you run.
Down for people who maybe don't know, like of like.
Okay, yeah. What sessions? Moment? Yeah, absolutely.
So we do a fortnightly support group, which is literally just a supportive space. You can come, speak about what's on your mind, ask questions. It's all peer led, and then we have a discussion topic, and that's every 2 weeks. Then we've got a monthly self-esteem, like psychoeducation workshop, again peer led, like learning tools and understanding how self-esteem impacts us. Twice a week we have peer led journaling and art group / body doubling. So Kesi leads on art group, I lead on journaling. So yeah, you can either come and do art or journal, or just like have someone to body double. Sometimes we do the body doubling, but yeah, you go with the flow. So there's that, and then we do like offshoot stuff. So we've had like quite a lot of creative events. So like we've done drawing, we've done painting, we've done paper. What is it? Paper cutting? Collage. Yeah, collage making.
Yoga.
Yeah, we did the online yoga series. We've done like managing finances, managing your career with ADHD. I forgot about that. Oh my god, yeah, we had the student support sessions. And then recently we've been doing in-person stuff. So we've gone theatre twice. We went this year with Almeida. And then we've had like in-person meetups. We're like planning a cooking workshop for this month. So a bit of a mix, but all things that will support us in our ADHD journey, or at least bring us together. And we all, like Kesi's been working with our like social media team, Debbie, to like create resources as well. So we've got resources online at the moment. Did I miss anything, Kesi?
Full platter. Platter.
We also do I don't know how you would say. I feel like we do a lot of like people approach ADHD babes for like maybe they want like someone to appear on like the radio or like a blog or an article or like a podcast or something. So I feel like, I don't know, sometimes we act like a bit of a middleman as well to like give opportunities out to the community and get like our voices heard. That's happening more often now. So.
Yeah, definitely. And more recently, like two babes who are writing their dissertations on Black women and ADHD came to like ask to interview people. So even stuff like that would be good to get more literature on like our experience.
Because there isn't a lot of research.
No.
No.
Because we don't exist apparently.
Yeah, we don't
exist.
I'm not actually here.
Yeah.
Just vibes.
We're on a different universe. Different metaverse.
Yeah.
Somebody's a Marvel fan. And now we know what ADHD Babes does. What's your favorite?
Well,
I do more like of the background things. So right now I'm doing the website and the membership. But I actually really enjoy like I've never been like a manager or considered myself a manager, but I really enjoy like working with the team of volunteers and like working like that collaborative setting is really nice, and it's like challenging me a lot, like it's brought up a lot of things that I've never had to address before. So that's like my favorite part of it right now. So yeah, not sessions, but I'd love the art group. But,
you should. You run it.
I do love the art group. But actually, like that part for me, because like obviously all our volunteers are like the members of our community as well. So it's just like nice, because when the creative ideas just start flowing and bouncing back, it's just like this is great. Like I love it, and it just like defies anyone's stereotype about like a whole team of like ADHD people, you know, like I love it.
Basically what Kesi is saying is ADHD Babes would love more volunteers.
We would love more volunteers.
Bring them.
Please.
People be lining up, be emailing us, so at gmail.com.
and again, just in case we didn't hear,
ADHD Babes at gmail.com, please.
Yeah. Email.
So your turn now, Viv. What's your favorite?
It's hard. I think across everything. I think the feeling I get when people say stuff like, this has really helped like my self-esteem, or this is like, I feel like I'm part of something, or, you know, this has really improved my well-being, like any kind of response that is like something about the group has improved someone's like well-being or their quality of life, always feels like this is worth the effort type of thing. Because I just feel like the world is so cold sometimes, and especially for Black people, especially for Black women, especially for like Black minoritized genders. So the fact that people come to a space that was just an idea is just like literally, we're volunteers, like we're literally volunteering time, like no one's guided us to do it. So the fact that from that effort and care, people are like, their life is actually better. Like someone said they like through us, they got their diagnosis, they like got their driving license, and they literally didn't think they could. And they were like, oh, it might not be a big deal. I was like, no, it's a big deal. It's a big bad boy deal. Like, do you know what I mean? So just that, like now your life is so much more open. Like you're living the life that you want for yourself and stuff like that. I replay it and I'm like, wow, like that's actually deep, and that makes me, it makes it all worth it. It makes me really happy, and it feels like a purpose that I actually care about. I think
that's a good answer, both of you. We're gonna have to round up soon, so for my last question, I want to know what's next for ADHD Babes. What are we missing? So I know Viv already kind of slipped this already with the cooking workshop, but what's going on?
I'm throwing up gun size, by the way. So.
We're all from London if we're not in London
Get with the lingo.
You're not intimidated.
No, but you know the way that we used to like, do, I mean, I feel sorry, like my friend who's based in the States, I'm always like, can you review like this fake American accent I have? Like, what state am I from? Because it's just but they do that with us now. Like, we get the Manny accents and the London. So we too are trending.
Yes, so they know that about accents. Like before, there weren't any accents. So
or it was the Queen's English.
Yeah, the Queen's English.
You know
and no one talks like that.
You on TV shows, I noticed whenever there's an English person on American sitcom, they speak like the Queen's English.
Yeah.
There's literally no. I don't know anyone that speaks like that anymore.
No,
but no,
my entire life.
No, Top Boy is doing a little thing or two. Like my friend was just like, I was watching Top Boy the other day, and this was so cool. Like, girl, so actually like give like definitions. I'm like, it's quite fun actually.
Yeah, this is life. My cousin was literally like, so cuz, have you been to Broadwater Farm? I'm like, what? Get out! This is wild.
Oh my god! No, I can't breathe. Have you been to Broadwater Farm?
What? So funny.
Or more. Anyway, I love it for us.
No, but seriously,
I love the US though, I'm not gonna lie. I love doing a little New York accent.
I love it. Whenever they come on the call.
So bad. But I love doing it.
No, this is the thing though. I copy people's accents.
Yeah.
I know that mimicking thing is a thing.
Yeah,
I only learned this last week, and I was like,
I mean, is this a symptom?
Yeah. It's a thing.
You see.
So, and I don't even do it with humans either. Like I'll repeat the train. I do it like on the train. Like the train lady would be like, "We are now approaching the green," and I will literally like copy her. Like I'm doing it, and it's I need to do it, be an imitator, because like I can do it on top. Like, and the other day a client actually told me I actually sounded like a robot, and I was like,
okay,
compliment or
and now.
I'm giving the stink eye, right? Just so you know, like the stink eye is coming out. I was like, well, you paid for it already, and I can guarantee you, I use my own vocal cords. So.
I lie. I'm the original robot. How about
that? My voice is what they make robot voices over.
Try to. Original kids.
So no, really, what's next?
Completely segued. Completely.
What's next for ADHD? Other than the podcast.
Yes, welcome to the podcast.
Well, we've got the membership.
Woo!
Going to introduce. And with that, we have like a kind of like a plan in place of how we want the sessions to start going, and which like I guess like more regularly. But but we're trying to get it up and running first.
Yeah.
So skills to learn.
Yeah.
So that's what's next, and just have like a bit more security with like ADHD Babes and its future.
Yeah, we're trying to get sustainable. And even though, like, I think Kesi said last time we met, it's like from the outside looking in, because it's like everything runs smoothly. Like, we do the sessions on time. Like, we rarely have problems and whatnot. And we have, like, you know, we run about 3 sessions a week. With the support group, there's up to 30 people each time, and we're selling out each time. So everything seems really smooth, but actually, like, we're a really small team. So we really want to try and sustain ourselves so that we don't burn out. Because like, when I think about all the organizations that are grassroots and like peer-led, they often burn out because they're not getting support. And so even if they get like a pot of funding, then it's hard to get a second pot, and then it's just really difficult. So so we want to like get ahead and try and make the model sustainable so that we can pay ourselves, that we don't get burnt out, and like it can just keep growing. So that's the aim. And then obviously
like support, like it kind of reinforces that the community feel.
Because we're like, run by ourselves.
And that people like just, it's a kind of like contribute what you can. So that you know, like, that you are supported and you are wanted in the community as well.
But besides that, small things, we've got the workshop coming up. We haven't decided on the date yet, but cooking workshops,
exciting partnerships coming up.
I
don't know if we announced them yet though.
No, not yet.
Preview.
And to be honest, we don't actually know where we don't know if this will be released on time, because again, ADHD, so it might have happened already.
So surprise. But we've got some cool things happening in the future. Like, we're going to do more in-person events now that we're not in lockdown and whatnot. And in the future, who knows, maybe we'll do international events. But
it would be good to have
make it manifest.
Retreats.
I better find the time to get
an international volunteer who wants to be the
ambassador.
Anyone?
Mate, I'm gonna have to do my passport renewal for that. It ran out like in the pandemic, and I'm like,
no, do it.
Where am I going?
Mine ran out when I was abroad.
Oh no!
And I got stuck abroad during the quarantine because I
didn't. Wow! So what you have to do? Go to the embassy.
But I couldn't because the whole country was on lockdown.
Girl, it's the ADHD for me.
It's the ADHD.
We'll see where it can land you. Anywhere.
So bad,
But you made it back. You're not
I did.
Right. Do you know what? I could talk to you ladies all day and all evening. I think yesterday, Viv, I refused to get off the call because I was like, I don't want to do anything. Can I just talk to you guys?
Oh, God. Which was fine. You know, that was welcome.
Until I really realized I had a lot to do and I really need to get off that call. So, I was late to it because I was speaking to Renee. So,
so it's all related.
It's all linked. It's all linked.
But I really enjoyed hearing a lot about you guys and your journey and who ADHD Babes are. Well, I already know who they are, but for everyone else, thank you guys for joining us. We are definitely going to be hearing more from you guys because you're going to be hosting some episodes as well, aren't you?
Yes.
So watch this space.
More good stuff to come.
Come on.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode. So don't forget, if you want to join ADHD Babes, you can email, what is it, Viv?
ADHDBabes@gmail.com. Yes.
You can also visit their website at
You set up an email.
It's too late. Next episode. You can also find links to their Twitter, their Instagram on their website at adhdbabes.com. We're going to be running some episodes that we are titling Dear Babes, and it's going to be mainly the lovely Kesi, giving her beautiful advice. We'll also be joined by some other people each time, but we want to hear from you. Want to hear what you got going on. We want you to get in contact. So have a look in the show notes. You'll find a link to leave us a message, or to send us a message if you don't like voice notes, like I don't. Thank you guys, and see you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. If you're a Black woman or non-binary person and needs help and support in managing your ADHD or advice on diagnosis, please visit adhdbabes.com. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. Join us in 2 weeks for a new episode. Until then, all the love from the ADHD Babes team.